A happy, glad, and vibrant morning to everyone. Dr. Ajita here as the Master of Ceremony, extending a cordial welcome to everyone gracing this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, the day has dawned with new hopes. This is a day of great importance, the day that embarks a new start, the start of a very important phase in a student's life, a step towards the career and a colorful future. As Benjamin Franklin rightly said, an investment in knowledge gives the best interest. We hope you all will take assurance from the long history which shows ITM graduates have gone on to soar to great heights. In the right light, at the right time, everything is extraordinary. When all our doors are closed, we find a new way as a light of our life. And as a sign of a delightful start here, we are going with the digital lamp lighting. I invite our chief guest of the day, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, founder, president of Avatar Career Creators and Flexi Careers India, to light up the ITM Vidya Jyoti. Now I invite Mr. Nitin Pucha, CEO, ITM Group of Institutions, to light up the ITM Vidya Jyoti. Now I call upon Professor R.S.S. Mani, Vice President, Institutional Development, ITM Group of Institutions, to light up the ITM Vidya Jyoti. Now I call upon our dear alum, Mr. Vishrant, Director, Esper, to light up the ITM Vidya Jyoti. I invite Professor Gulshan Kumar, Director, ITM Business School, Chennai, to light up the ITM Vidya Jyoti. I also invite Dr. Ajita, Assistant Professor, ITM Business School, Chennai, to light up the digital lamp. Thank you, dignitaries. Now, may I request all of you to close your eyes for the invocation song.
सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, मङ्गलं भवतु, मङ्गलं भवतु। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः। गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं, लोकः समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोकः समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोकः समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु।
Thank you, Esra sir. A lighted lamp lit numerous other lamps. As the glow of the lamp lights the entire space, let this place light up within the entire world and show your places ahead to ahead and lead on. I congratulate all the new joiners for having selected ITM as your right and best choice. I convey my respects and assurance to the parents for their vested stake in ensuring a better career of their wards. A pessimist complains about the wind. An optimist tried to change it, and a leader adjusts the sails. The sails for this particular notion were adjusted by a person who is not only a great motivation to all of us, but he is the person who gave us the belief to bring this program together. He is none other than our director, Professor Gulshan Kumar. May I now take the pleasure of requesting our director, ITM Business School, Chennai, Professor Gulshan Kumar, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Ajita. A disciple once asked his guru, "What is future?" For which his guru gave a beautiful reply. "Your actions are the factor of your decision, and your decisions are the factor of your thoughts. What you do today will be your future tomorrow. You are the creator of your own future." My dear students, you took this bold decision to take up higher education irrespective of pandemics and future uncertainties. Your decision speaks volumes about your confidence and optimism. The word belongs to those who dare, not for the one who sit and stare. I appreciate your decision, and I also thank all the parents who helped their wards in taking the right step towards a bright future. Your ward is going to weave their successful future at ITM. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I, Gulshan Kumar, Director of ITM Business School, Chennai, welcome you all with open arms. Thank you, students and parents, for choosing ITM as your preferred choice of higher education. It means a lot to us. Heartiest welcome to respected chief guest, Dr. Saundarya Rajesh, founder, president of Avatar Career Creators and Flexi Careers India. Professor Nitin Pukcha, CEO, ITM Group of Institutions, and Professor RSS Mani, VP Institutional Development, ITM Group of Institutions. John F. Kennedy rightly quoted, "I think the success of any school can be measured by the contribution the alumni make to our national life. Any business school which has unmatched curriculum, talented faculties, strong corporate relations, and successful alumni need no advertisement. We have never missed any opportunity to showcase our alumni to the world. Out of many successful leaders which ITM has created till date, one such personality is among us today. Mr. Vishrant, student of the batch 1993-95, ex-general manager, Samsung India, now designated as director at Esper. Welcome, Mr. Vishrant. Today, as we embark the beautiful journey of learning at ITM Business School, Chennai, I would like to wish all the students a great career and a successful life ahead. ITM Group of Institutions is not just a group of institutions, it is a story in itself. A story which started 30 years ago in Mumbai with just 2 rented classrooms and a couple of faculties has now transformed into a group of 24 owned institutions dealing into various verticals and streams such as management, engineering, health sciences, law, hotel management, hospitality and culinary arts, fashion design, corporate training, and new age technology programs. Constellation of 4 standalone AICTE business schools, 2 universities make this group as one of the largest group of institutions in India. All this was possible under the able guidance of founder and chairperson, Dr. P.V. Ramana. My dear students, I assure you all that your 2 years at ITM will be turning point for your career. This is not what I'm saying, but this is a standing testimonial of what students who passed out say about us, and their rising career is a witness for that. Sounds too tempting to listen, but we are going to deliver 40 subjects all taught in most practical way by industry experts, which will open up the new dimension to see the business world. 200 plus hours of special emphasis on skill development to prepare you for your first corporate interaction. 400 plus case studies, 100 plus guest talks by senior industry veterans, 30 certificate courses by Coursera EDXOM, and in-house certification program to give an extra edge and add more weight to your resume. 15 days of NGO program to instill values in you. 7 days of global immersion program at world's 11th rank university, National University of Singapore, to give you a much needed global exposure. 5 months of industrial internship program to give you a first-hand experience in business world, and thereby giving a golden opportunity to grab PPO even before completing your program. All this comes to you as a package which will be unboxed over the period of your program. Amid pandemic, when institutions around the nation were baffled and were struggling to cope up with the mode of education, ITM stood as pioneer towards digital ready and corona safe campus. We are all set to deliver unmatched quality education through digital platforms with Google Classroom, Google Meet, and Zoom. Our each and every faculty has been trained to deliver high quality session using said digital tools. Till date, ITM has conducted 18 knowledge series webinars, 2 FDPs, 1 MDP, 1 train the trainer program, 2 career counseling session, 4 certification programs, all digitally. We have learned to optimally utilize digital platforms to share knowledge with our students. ITM Chennai is 100% digital ready campus. I'm proud to announce 96% quality placements, 100% paid internship placements, and 18% pre-placement offer conversions at ITM Chennai. On an average, each student of the batch 2018-20 had 2 offers in hand to choose from. I welcome all the students once again to this beautiful journey of 2 years called Experience ITM, and a lifetime relationship with ITM as its proud alum. Also, I once again thanks Honorable Chief Guest for your invaluable presence on this auspicious day. Special thanks to Mr. Vishrant, our proud alum, Mani Sir, Chief Mentor of MBA program across the group, and Nitin Sir, my guiding star. Welcome all.
Thank you, Gulshan Kumar sir. The fragrance of flowers spread only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us Mr. Nitin Pucha, CEO, ITM Group of Institution, for the inauguration ceremony. With a range of experience in sectors such as retail, e-business, marketing, advertising, education, information technology, and operations, his passion and drive is to bring new thinking, technologies, and ideas from across industries into the redesign of higher education. He strongly believes India's future depends on the supply of skilled and productive citizens, and he hoped to make ITM Group a marked contributor to that future through a blend of vocational training and formal education projects. He did his MBA and MS as joint degree from Fox School of Business and Management of Temple University. He is an expert in education marketing strategies in India with over 10 plus years of experience. He was the director for special projects at Blinds to Go, the top retailer of window, blinds, and furnishing in USA and Canada. During his tenure, he led a greenfield e-commerce project to launch, operate, and sustain the company's e-retail venture. He was also an e-business analyst for top 3 global chemical companies, where he has spearheaded the conceptualization, design, and development of B2B e-business portals and extranets which connect important customers directly to the company. He was also the co-founder of BuildMyEvent.com, a startup in the events and hospitality space focused on making the process of finding and booking a venue easy, fast, and foolproof. He is the founder, director of Red Eye Media Private Limited. At Red Eye Media, He focuses on developing branding and communication strategies, incorporating digital and transitional media and innovative marketing techniques. He has significant experience in enterprise technologies like ERP, CRM, SFA, on holding various positions in various companies. He is also a specialist in education management, operations, business, marketing strategy, advertising, and brand identity and digital marketing. From Jan 2002, he took over as the CEO of ITM Group of Institution and has taken the responsibility for ITM Group's business unit, which include management, engineering, hospitality, health science, design institutions, as well as ITM University. Now, I request Mr. Nitin Pucha, CEO, ITM Group of Institution, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Dr. Ajita. Good morning, everybody. Special welcome to our chief guests and guest of honor, and to dear students and some of the parents in the background. Can I request that everybody mute their audio, but actually switch on their cameras so that we can all see you, students specifically. Hello, everybody. Get used to this. This is how you're going to see each other for a few months. Yes, almost there. Hi.
I haven't spoken to you all day, so good morning, Dad.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, welcome everybody. Some of you are still shy and kept your cameras off. That's all right. Some of you are wearing masks on screen, so that makes me wonder, is enough social distancing happening or not? This is a good way. Wear a mask on screen in class also. So even if your camera is on or the teacher says you must keep your camera on, they still won't know who you are. So that's a nice way of avoiding paying attention in class. So good morning. I have a little a prayer of my own that I'd like to take a moment to share with you. It's a different kind of prayer. And it goes something like this. It says, oh God, thank you for giving me refuge. For 2 years more, I can hide. For 2 years more, I can rest in the warm comfort of my new classmates. Of maybe for a few months, I can rest in my bedroom before eventually finding a hostel room or a dorm room or a classroom. But for 2 years, I can rest. What can I rest from? I can rest now because I know I have loans to pay. No doubt ITM Business School is not inexpensive. I know that I have my parents' dreams to fulfill. And boy, there are some big dreams they have for you. I know that I have my own ambitions to conquer. But for 2 years, I'm somewhat safe. Somebody else is paying my bills. And I can prepare myself for this future that is about to come. And so keep that in mind, dear students, that you're kind of in a safe zone right now. You got admitted to a business school, a school that has a very long history. And so you know that nothing bad will come of it. And you are safe during COVID. You're safe for the next 2 years as the economy recovers. And when you graduate in 2024, no doubt I'm sure a lot of us will talk about how the world is going to change. But even without COVID, and by 2022, when you graduate, the world would be a lot different than what it is today. And the question I really want to leave you, I don't have answers because you're here at the day one of trying to answer a million questions about yourself. So I'll add one more question for you to start thinking about. And the question that you really should ask yourself is this: what would a manager in 2024 or 2025, 5 years from now, what would a manager need to do? What would the skill sets be like for 5 years from now, for 7 years from now? I believe that what you learn in your MBA is worth about 5 years, no more than that. It's not about how much knowledge you have. It's about how you can implement that. Meaning it's not knowledge, it's know-how. how do I solve a problem? Not just what do I need to solve the problem. It's not about analytical skills. We talk a lot about analytical skills, and trust me, as a person who has to deal with a lot of analysis, I can tell you it's not about analytical skills. It's about the insights that you can possibly come up with once you're faced with an analysis. When someday you prepare a report, whether it's a sales report or an operations report or a finance report or a cash flow statement or any kind of analytical report, are you able to look at that report and say, okay, I think I know where the problem is. We're not doing well in this area. We need to focus on that area. So insights is far more important than an analysis. And trust me, there's enough and more people there to run Excel reports in the world. It's not about marketing and sales. It's not about, branding and communication. It's about customer journeys now. It's got nothing to do with how many units per month did you move, whether you hit your quota or not. Sure, those things will count in your first few years of working, but it's more about what your customers say about you. It's more about whether they remain a customer beyond the first sale, whether they are on a journey with you as a company and as a brand. And these are not things that we will teach you. We will teach you 40 subjects and a whole load of coursework, a lot of certifications. A lot of content will be thrown at you, whether it's through a Zoom call or a Google Classroom or whatever, but you will be flooded. But let me tell you this simple fact. Curriculum has a very unique feature. The moment you consume it, it's gone, it's expired. The moment you say, I finally understood what this theory is, what this concept is, that's it, it's not useful to you anymore. So you really have to ask yourself, over the next 2 years, will I be one of 1 million managers, another mouse in the mousetrap? Or will there be something about me, some one thing, some one skill, some one capability, no matter how small, that you are good at, that you stand out a little bit? If everybody is wearing a black suit, are you wearing a green one? Or are you also wearing a black suit and nobody can tell you any different from all the other people that they're interviewing, all the other people who are working? There are literally something like maybe 5 lakh MBA graduates coming out every year in this country. So what makes you 5 lakh, may say, in something different? What's the skill? What can you offer that's at least minorly different than the rest of your class, the rest of your cohort, the rest of all the students who will graduate in 2 years from now? And I think that's something you should really focus on. Yes, we are seeing that, we got digital inauguration and you're going to be in a digital classroom, something you had not thought that you might be a part of, especially at the MBA, PGDM level. But here we are. But I'm not going to talk about COVID, because I'll just say this, that COVID is, looking at it from a professional business economy standpoint, yes, it's painful, it's catastrophic, there's job loss, this economy is down, there's a recession, but it's also doing something else. It's accelerating the change of pace in the global economy. It's making all of us, and you as well, run faster and find new ways of doing things that you could not do anymore. And that's a good thing. It's accelerating the virtualization of the world. It's accelerating the localization of the world. It means that suddenly you're no longer interested in importing from China. Suddenly you're like, I need to find a local vendor. Suddenly you're not interested in eating imported cheese or drinking imported wine. You're saying, no, I should probably find someone close to my home who can deliver, because all that stuff comes from far away and it takes too much time. Now, these are trends that have been around. And like I said, COVID is just accelerating them. And these are trends that are going to be very, very critically important for you as a player, a money earner, a professional, a manager, as a participant in this economy that's going to emerge post-COVID. And frankly, that was anyway going to come about in the next 5 years. So the question, just to repeat myself, is what am I supposed to do? Who am I as a student, as a future manager, as a person? What's so special about me? Can I come up with, can I develop some one little tiny skill or a big skill that makes me slightly more unique or a lot unique? Even if you're slightly unique, even if something as simple as you are an excellent communicator, quite a very boring skill to have, but still highly in demand, right? Because if you're an excellent communicator, maybe you can become a YouTuber. I won't say TikToker because, those days are gone. And I'm thankful that they are gone. Maybe you are particularly good at doing math, particularly good, like better than 100 people. If I line up, you're better than all 100 people at doing some math. Fantastic. That's a skill. There's a job waiting for that skill. But if you call yourself a manager, you are making the mistake that all the people in this room above the age of 30 have made. Due apologies to our chief guests. I'm using it as an example. And that in most cases, we are all generalists. We're not good at any one thing. We're kind of good at a lot of small things. And we've managed to pull out of our little bag something useful every now and then and survived the situation and gone past it and called it a success. But we are not specialists. We are not really, really good at anything. We are good at a lot of small things and we managed to make it so far. But that future, why I say you're lucky and you're safe, is that future where a generalist can survive is fast becoming fast reaching the end of life. You're going to have to be a specialist to survive out there. There is no such thing as a manager. We are teaching management, but we all know, like I said, those of us who are slightly on the grayer side, we all know that there is no such thing as management anymore. It's nonsense to call yourself a general manager. Those jobs are few and far between, and you're more a problem solver and a technical specialist and a tool for a very specific job. And like I said, the curriculum that we're teaching you, no matter how much we update it, and trust me, we do update it quite a bit, it will always expire the day it's taught. And you have to ask yourself, okay, if I finally understood this difficult concept, is that all there is to know? Nope. It's a tiny, tiny speck of information, underneath which is a PhD level worth of information if you want to get into it. Every single subject, 40 subjects that you might learn, each of them can be broken down into 10 or 12 sub contexts, if you will. In each of those subcontexts, there are people who have done hundreds, if not thousands of people who have done PhDs and postdoctoral level research into each and every one of those. So this 40 courses is a great introduction to how complex the world is. But don't mistake it for that's it. My studies are over. Here I come. I'm the next CEO of a Fortune 500 company. So don't make that mistake. And please take the time now, later, sometime. The faster you come to this realization that I've got to be really good at some one thing. And that will keep me a job, that will keep me employed, that will pay my bills, it will pay my education loan and everything else. The day you come to that realization, the sooner you come to that realization, the better for you. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today, because I was wondering what advice to give, and I'm supposed to say something really, really important and something very groundbreaking and make you feel, the CEO has spoken. And I think the only thing I can tell you is, oh boy, you're safe. 2 years, do have fun. Enjoy the fact that you don't have to earn a rupee, and that your loan and your parents and maybe your own savings are going into this program. Be comfortable. Eventually, somewhere, September, December, you will come onto campus, perhaps. And if not, like Professor Gulshan said, don't worry. We have completely virtualized. So if it's not safe to come to campus, don't come. If it's safe enough and we'll let you know, then you might show up. We would love for you to have the campus experience. We don't want to teach you completely online, but we're fully 100% ready for both scenarios. And also, you should thank yourself for one small thing which you're probably wondering about. Chennai is a small batch school. Okay, we are not an MBA factory. And we are a small batch school for a very specific reason. You will find that the levels of interaction, the levels of cooperation that you will see, the intensity of the education that you'll get is unlike any other school. So you are sort of under a microscope because you are a relatively small batch and you have a large number of faculties, and they'll all be paying a lot of personal attention to you. So you won't have anywhere to run or hide. You may feel safe. You're safe from the economy. You're safe from having to make money, but you're not safe from having to force yourself to learn, having to force yourself to perform. And trust me, our faculties will encourage you, motivate you, and also torture you to perform if they need to. So with those scary thoughts, welcome aboard ITM Business School Chennai. I welcome all of you kids, young little blooms and blossoms who will eventually become all jaded and bored and say, MBA is boring, it's horrible. Probably 1 month from now, you'll be start complaining about your classes and which faculty you like and don't like. And that it's not fun studying at home and all that. That's okay. Even if you were in classroom, within 1 month, you'll start complaining about how bad the canteen food is, or which faculty is tough on you and which is easy and who's popular and who's not. All this is fun and games. Enjoy it. But please, at the back of your mind, at the base of your neck, keep that little pulse alive. That, my God, the world is really changing around me, and I need to figure this problem out for myself. All my faculties, all my courses are not going to solve this problem. So welcome, and thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time. And back to Dr. Ajita to take the function forward.
Thank you, sir, for your kindling words that will remain lingering in young minds who have been here. Your food for thought and ensuing actions. You told very clearly about a prayer that is the need of the hour, and you asked a very good question about how would a manager be and what are the skills that have been required for the next 5 years from now, and what he is going to implement and how to identify problems. Those are very provoking, and these are the need for the hour for the young minds over here. And you told very clearly how does your curriculum ends when once everything is being studied, and a very good insight on localization of the world due to COVID acceleration, and ended up very clearly keeping all your funds aside. Goal is the important one to be kept into mind. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Nothing great will be achieved without great men, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. Now, I would like to call upon Professor R.S.S. Mani, who has been instrumental to the organization journey. Professor R.S.S. Mani is a founding member of the ITM family and has completed over 25 years of association with the group. He is acknowledged as one of the pillars of ITM and has been largely responsible for its phenomenal growth over the last 2 decades into one of the top business schools in India. He is currently Vice President, Institutional Development and Chief Mentor, ITM MBA programs across India. He is widely acknowledged as an institution builder and a renowned out-of-the-box management thinker. An alumnus of the prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences, he was a gold medalist in the MBA Human Resources stream. He has had a very successful stints in Wipro in HR and training and Tata Institutions of Social Science as a full-time faculty for 5 years before joining the ITM group. Professor R.S.S. Mani is highly regarded as the HRD guru in HRD circles for his pioneering contribution in the areas of training and development and career planning and guidance. Professor R.S.S. Mani is also a highly respectful authority in the area of career planning and guidance for students, faculty, and executives. Over the recent 5 years, he has been a very successful career coach and mentor to many senior executives in large Indian and MNC organizations. He has also been a part of the selection boards of several large public sectors and private sector organizations and also NGOs. He is a trustee and part of the advisory board of many reputed NGOs in Mumbai, Gujarat, and all other interior parts of Maharashtra. He is the recipient of over 20 awards in the last decades for his outstanding contribution to the cause of management education and career guidance, and for his contribution in the areas of educating the underprivileged, such as Samaj Shakti and Samaj Ratna awards has been received. Bombay Chartered Accountants Society's NGO, ANMOL and DBM felicitated him for his significant contribution to the education of the girl child and creating employment opportunities for the marginalized women. Another feather in his bejeweled cap was the Public Relations Council of India Communicator of the Year award bestowed upon him in 2018. Besides, Pragati Foundation bestowed upon him the Certificate of Excellence in 2019 to recognize his stellar contribution towards education of the girl child and yeoman service in emancipation of women in distress by making them employable. Recently, he was bestowed the Best Teacher Award at the Vidyeva Sarvadhanam Teachers' Day event in December 2019. He is respected as the mentor, par excellence, and for his high degree of service orientation. He is a founding trustee of the Higher Education Forums also. Just recently, he has been nominated for the prestigious post of Bombay Management Association for the year 2019 and 20 and has been taken over as the president of Bombay Management Association for the year 2019 to 20. I now request Professor R.S.S. Mani, Vice President, Institutional Development, to deliver the inspirational speech.
Thank you, Ajita, for that wonderful introduction. I think I'm going to speak lesser than the time you spent in introducing me, because we have in our midst such wonderful people like Dr. Soundarya Rajesh and, of course, our alumni, Vishrant, whom I'm sure are going to share so many secrets of their successes in their careers and how they did path-breaking things in their lives for the benefit of the corporate world. Congratulations to every one of you who's managed to get into the ITM Business School, Chennai. We believe that every campus of ITM has its own personality. And to me, ITM Chennai is that campus which, though is about 27 years old in the ITM family, also has an average age of the faculty being around 27. So to say, many of you who are in this campus who are here to learn will be actually learning from the youngest group of faculty in our ITM group. So wonderful to have all of you joining our campus. I'd like to take a couple of minutes just to establish with you what ITM can do for you and what we would like you to do so that this journey becomes very meaningful. I'd like to share with you what we believe is the personality of ITM. We believe in innovation. 1991, we started as the first private business school in the country. Of course, then there are many, many of them. Today on record, there are 4,500 B schools in India alone, delivering MBA education. So for us, innovation is a way of life. ITM was the first institution which has a 5-month internship program, which Gulshan spoke about so proudly, leads to 20% plus pre-placement offers. You don't even have to go for a campus recruitment interview. ITM is one of those unique organizations which has an NGO internship embedded in the MBA program. Therefore, for us, innovation is a way of life. Gulshan spoke about how we got digitally prepared, and you'll know more about it when you join the campus, unless some of you have already attended the 20 plus webinars that we conducted in the last 60 days for the benefit of students. Second, like you see on the screen that is there, courtesy the Zoom platform, you see so many people together in one screen, just to confirm that the power of teamwork is phenomenal. And this is what you will learn in your ITM journey. We don't believe in producing individual I specialists. Here, I'm not talking of the I as in EYE. I'm talking of the I as in the alphabet I. We don't want to develop I specialists. We'd like to have team players who believe that everyone is important, but nobody is indispensable. Come discover the power of teamwork in your projects, group work, classes, the celebrations for Pongal, Baisakhi, the various sports and cultural events that we organize to make, as Nitin said, a fun place to be at. Last but not the least, what we hope to do with you in ITM is to develop this idea of mentorship. When I talk about mentorship, we not only talk of being friend, philosopher, guide to all of you, But mentorship means, can I help others be successful? Can we learn from each other? Can I win along with you? Too long, because of the competitive scenario, we are used to what is called win-lose. We'd like to win by ensuring that the other person loses. Can I not win and also somebody else win in the same process? It's rightly said, try making others successful. You will see more success along the way. So boys and girls and parents who are present here, our philosophy is deep rooted on innovation, teamwork, and mentorship. And I'm sure you realize where I was coming from. ITM, innovation, teamwork, and mentorship. Boys and girls, what we expect from you is very simple, and more so in these times that all of us are going through the tough time, the whole world, in fact. I'm sure many of you have heard these little acronyms, AC and BC. BC as in before Corona or before COVID, and AC in after Corona or after COVID. Yes, the world has changed significantly. Nitin has very ably shared a lot of those thoughts with you. But I want to just tell you, don't worry about AC or BC. Look at the basics, that is ABC. First, develop an attitude of gratitude. This is something we have forgotten in the world around us because of the rat race that we are all running. Take a minute to thank God that all of us are part of this Zoom meeting and not stuck in a COVID-related situation somewhere. Be grateful to your parents that you have an opportunity to go through this MBA program. And therefore, start by thanking the Lord, thanking everybody around you who has made a difference to your lives in a constructive manner. The attitude of gratitude. Second, be positive. We are going through difficult times. Some of you, your results have not come. In a couple of cases, your final exams are not over. The system does allow you time till October 30th to complete all those formalities, and therefore we have begun the term today. But don't worry. This too shall pass. Take the right spirit of being positive. Easy to criticize everything around us, easy to find fault with what is not happening. But if one is able to look at it in a constructive manner, be positive. I often say this in lighter vein. Don't worry what your blood group is. It may be A negative. It could be O. It could be anything. But when you take up life, be positive. And last but not the least, for me, the C stands for build up your own character. And character for me is what you do when nobody is watching. So please remember, develop a character. Develop a sense of humility. It is true that we all have our positive strengths. We all have great achievements. But with those achievements, humility coupled with character can make a significant difference to your lives. So I repeat, develop the attitude of gratitude, A. Be positive, B. And C, character. If you are able to inspire yourselves on this journey that you have come into ITM, we'll help you become great leaders, is my assurance to you on behalf of every one of us in the ITM group of institutions. I want to once again take the opportunity to specially, from the bottom of my heart, express a word of gratitude to Dr. Soundarya Rajesh. In these difficult times, all it required was a telephonic discussion with her, and she so readily agreed to be part of this wonderful event. And trust me, in her, we have somebody who's a world leader, a world acclaimed person in the field of diversity and inclusion. You will, of course, get to know about her a little more. But for the wonderful work that she has done, in all humility, we salute you, Dr. Soundarya, and are extremely delighted to have you in our midst. Thank you for your patient attention. Back to Ajita.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational words that will surely motivate and encourage them to grow in their career. And you clearly told about innovation, teamwork, and mentorship, and the concept of before Corona and after Corona, and your ABC concept of attitude of gratitude, be positive, and character building through sense of humility, the need of the hour. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader then. And today, our midst, we have an eminent leader as our chief guest, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, founder president of Avatar Career Creators and Flexi Careers India. Dr. Soundarya Rajesh is one of the India's most respected thought leaders on diversity and inclusion. An award-winning social entrepreneur, she is best known as the pioneer of second career opportunities for women in corporate India. She has been recognized as a 100 Women Achiever by India's Ministry of Women and Child Development, and also listed in the United Nations Women Transforming India. As part of UK government's initiative to recognize leaders from all over the world who are making transformational changes in their home countries, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh was recognized as one of the top 35 global change makers and was featured in a specially commissioned exhibition of portraits at a London art gallery. In early 2019, she won Twitter India's Web Wonder Women Award for disseminating positive energy via the web. She is also the only Indian to receive the Wines of Change 2019 award for the Forum on Workplace Inclusion in Minnesota, USA. As a banker in her early 20s, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh discovered the anomalies between men's career and women's career that existed in the workplace. A relentless advocate of the potential of women workplace participation, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh is the advisor of choices for an impressive list of organizations and leaders on the benefits of inclusion and diversity. She has personally trained and mentored over 10,000 leaders in the Indian corporate, one of the earliest voices in India to speak about the need for gender balance in the workplace. Her diversity immersion session have benefited varied audiences ranging from industry bodies to the police force, from entrepreneurs to college goers, from organizations like Accenture, Deloitte, IBM, Mahindra Group, and Tata Group to small and medium businesses. Inspirational in her approach to tackling systematic issues faced by women, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh has irrevocably changed the game for the Indian women professional by changing the concept of career intentionality and career re-entry to corporate India. Avatar Women, a service focused on women's career, has counseled and placed over 15,000 second career women and over 35,000 women professionals. An entrepreneur who has created successful growing enterprise such as Avatar Career Creators, Flexi Career India, and Avatar Human Capital Trust, Dr. Soundarya is also counted among India's early stage innovators in the space of artificial intelligence in HR. Bruhat Insights Global, founded by Dr. Soundarya, provides cutting-edge predictive and prescriptive analysis for hiring solutions. Bruhat was recently featured at the World Artificial Intelligence Show at Dubai. She always says, "You cannot raise a girl to be ambitious and competitive and then cut off her wings with biased systems." Widely quoted on women's career, entrepreneurship, and inclusive leadership, Dr. Soundarya is a highly sought-after speaker at conferences, both national and international, and a firm believer in integrating work and life. Her book, The 99 Days Diversity Challenge, broke records in its pre-order window on Amazon, selling out within hours of its launch. The book 99 Days Diversity Challenge has won several acclaims from industry leaders and has been designed to develop diversity and inclusion mindsets in many organizations or even individuals within the proverbial 99 days. It's now time to hear from the valuable words to be engraved as guidelines for life and career from our chief guest, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, Founder President, Avatar Career Creators and Flexi Career India. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Professor Ajita. It's such a pleasure being here. Thank you, Professor Mani, for the invitation, Professor Gulshan, Professor Nitin. It's good to be here, and a hearty congratulations to the VIPs of today, the batch of 2022. A fantastic welcome to you to this inaugural session. To each of you, my warmest congratulations. This is a very, very big, important milestone in your life. You have won this at school, at college, in every part of your life. This winning is a habit that you have, and by having got admission into ITM, I believe you have won again. And I want you to keep this feeling in your mind constantly over the next 2 years as you travel this MBA journey. You won this. And it's not easy winning, because it means you have to excel, you have to work hard, you have to translate that intent into action. And believe me, this particular team, your batch of 2022, you have won amidst such distractions. You know, I'm sure as children, you would have constantly been told, don't be distracted. And then, you know, you grow up and find out that the adult life is actually full of distractions. Cooking, cleaning, relationships, marriage, motherhood, caregiving, everything. And, you know, in our pursuit of our career or our passion, we come across even more distractions in life. Right now, my dear friends, we are living the greatest distraction of all time, the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, and the subsequent lockdown. So your batch is going down in history as the batch that actually persevered through the COVID pandemic. And if you have gotten through the rigorous selection process that ITM has during this distracting time, and you have made it into this batch, I tell you, this is fantastic. Kudos to all of you. Seriously, your success and resilience and your continued career accomplishments are not only important here in this platform, but they are super important in the entire ITM story. For every one of you that succeeds, it means that we are creating human capital. What is this concept? What is human capital? Human capital is the value of an individual's skills, knowledge, and competencies in the labor market. Every year, you know, whenever the UN, the United Nations, publishes the Human Development Index, which measures human capital, we actually in India, we score really low. And that is because there is a lot of difference in the human capital between the genders, and that is definitely a challenge. So when I saw a lot of young girls in this batch, I'm really thrilled, because I know that when you graduate out of ITM, you're really going to leave a mark on the world. What do MBA programs really do? MBA programs are supposed to rescue the human potential that is there in each one of you from the clutches of all of these different distractions that we spoke about, and unleash your full promise. My own story is one where this promise of unfulfilled potential is what made me start my organization, Avatar, 20 years ago. I also graduated out of a B school, like you. In fact, if you go to my Wikipedia page, you will find a very interesting fact right at the bottom of the page, which says that I married my batchmate. So I had a very, very good program, my own B school, where I learned a lot of things, and I also had the chance to meet, you know, my life partner. And after that, I joined a very good international bank where I worked. And, you know, it was a fantastic time at that point of time. This was the early 90s. And, you know, when I joined this organization, Citibank, it was a time where growth was abundant, where everything was, you know, at the top of its game. And the organization was a fantastic organization to grow in. But soon after I got married and soon after I had my baby, I realized that the workplace needed to change to a great extent if it has got to accommodate people with many, many different types of career orientations. So I was a young mother who had to manage her child, manage a large joint family, and also manage a career. And I found it unsustainable. So I quit. And when I quit, I began missing my identity. I didn't miss that very job which I had left, but I missed the fact that I had stopped contributing, you know, and rising to the full of my potential in a world where I wanted to make a difference. When I looked around, I found that there were many, many women similar to me And I'm sure there are such women in your own lives too, your own mothers or sisters or friends or neighbors who, on the altar of work and life have taken that break and then find it extremely difficult to get back into the workplace. When I saw this, and then I saw that there was a need in the organization for very good talent. And the talent does not matter where the talent comes from. What matters is what you do with it. So when I found that these two opportunities existed, one, a group, a large cohort of women professionals who had taken breaks for multiple reasons and who wanted to re-enter the workplace, and on the other side, the organizations which had a demand for very, very good talent, we decided to become the bridge. That is how Avatar was born. So today, after 20 years, close to 20 years, we have actually contributed more than 250 crores to India's GDP by way of having placed innumerable number of women, almost 30 to 35,000 women, back into the workplace. All the organizations which initially were apprehensive about engaging women, and remember, this was almost 20 years ago, 15, 18 years ago, when those organizations were apprehensive about hiring women, today all of those organizations are part of every initiative that Avatar takes. So if you visit www.avatarwomen.com, you will find a lot of information for women professionals. If you visit www.avatarinc.com, you will learn what you need to know about being a professional who is accepting of diversity and learns to be inclusive in today's workplace. At Avatar, this saving of potential, especially diverse potential, from things like lack of opportunities, career breaks, dropouts, socio-economic exclusion, regretted attrition, this has taken the shape of the work that Avatar does in the space of diversity and inclusion in these past 2 decades. We started India's first return to work program, India's first career intentionality training, India's first flexible working process, and of course, one of our most important initiatives in partnership with ISB and Google is India's first digital marketing skilling initiative called DigiPivot. So, my dear friends, what I would like to tell you is, whenever you find an obstacle, there is always a way around it. Either you climb it or you go around it. But definitely, there is a solution to every challenge that you will face in your life. And building your skills is a very, very important investment that you will be making in yourself during the next 2 years. My dear friends, I know that over the next few years, you're not only going to be building these essential skills, you're going to master them. Yes, master. And I'm not talking about the new film that's going to be released, starring, I think, actor Vijay. I'm talking about the acronym MASTER, M-A-S-T-E-R. And I'm going to take a couple of minutes to explain this. M is for mix it up. When you join an MBA program, it is bound to be filled with a lot of content, because in these 2 years, you're going to undergo the kind of transformation that a piece of coal undergoes when it becomes a diamond. So there will be a lot of pressure. So learn how to mix up your entertainment, mix up your studying time, and the fact that, you need to have that downtime. So M is for mix it up. A is for apply frequently. A lot of what you learn in your B school is going to be something that you can actually apply practically every day in your own life. So whenever you learn a concept at your class, try and see how you can apply it. Would you be able to apply it at home? Can you apply it to help your mother make better cooking decisions? Can you apply it to help your father make better investment decisions? Can you build a study plan for your brother or sister using the logistics and the supply chain management principles that you're learning at class? So this is very important. How you apply what you learn becomes very, very important. S is for space it out. A lot of times you will be crunched with a lot of deliverables that happen immediately. And each of you, I'm sure, has great ambition, great aspiration, because without that, it's not possible for you to be in a B school classroom. So you will have certain aspirations for yourself. What I will tell you is space it out. You can have it all, but not at the same time. So learn to manage your aspirations and space it out. T is for test yourself. You will have a lot of tests. You will have a lot of assignments. You will have a lot of ways in which you are, tested, assessed during this program. But what is important is for you to audit yourself. Look at the way in which you are managing your things and see if you can test yourself. The best test that you can do is a self-test. E is for engage with your batch. Like Professor Nitin mentioned, you're a small batch, and like Professor Mani also mentioned, you're an intimate small group of people. You can become best friends with everybody in your batch. There is so much to learn from every one of your classmates. So when you have a small engaged batch, and if you try to engage with each member, there is so much of learning that happens. What you learn from your batchmates will be far, far more than what you just learn from, by way of the pedagogy. And finally, R, relax. Yes, everybody is frightening you with regard to this being COVID and this would happen and so on. But let me assure you, the world has seen many, many such, instances of crisis. We may not have seen a COVID before this, but we saw a subprime crisis. We saw a dot-com bust. We saw the global recession. All of those things we saw, and the world still survived, and all the businesses still ran. So even though this may seem like a time of great, challenge and so on, I would urge you to relax, to work really well, to gather all of those skills and really rise to the fullest of your potential. So once again, let me say, don't just build essential skills, master them. My very best wishes to each one of you, all the very best, and you got this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Soundarya. And I'm sure all the students who are present here would certainly take your words very seriously, how to master your lives. And I must tell you, boys and girls, what Dr. Soundarya said about visiting the sites of Avatar. For those of you who are not very familiar with this word, Avatar actually means kind of being reborn. And I hope in this journey that you have begun with ITM, with all her blessings and also visiting and learning from the website she mentioned, you will transform yourself. I'm delighted to share with Dr. Soundarya something interesting about ITM and diversity. We're very proud to say that over the last 30 years, we are seen as a very, very diverse organization in the sense 60% of our staff are women. And therefore, we are very proud of our achievements, considering that it is being led and driven by this wonderful women power, as we call them. So handing back to Ajita.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for this very informative and encouraging words. You told very clearly how distraction in life will come and how it should be managed by human capital and how a rescue has to happen by human potential. I hope this is the need for the hour for the students and the young minds over here. And the life journey will have career growth, but provided whatever obstacle comes, there should be a solution, and solution should be provided with knowledge and skill. Do master it. That was wonderful, ma'am. And the way you told it to mix it up, apply frequently, space it out, test yourself, engage and relax, ma'am, that is the need for the hour. Thank you so much for being here and giving a wonderful speech for the students over here. Thank you so much, ma'am. Before we meet our alum, it is time to show our glimpse of our students' life at ITM. A video which was created by your super seniors. Let us have a look on it.
Way, oh, way, oh.
Thank you, Esra sir. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. It's now time to pass through the history of ITM and the achievers from ITM. We are very happy and equally proud to introduce our very own Mr. Vishrant, Director, ESPER. He is a thought leader in the domain of enterprise mobility and IT. And over the course of his career planning, 22 years have spearheaded numerous technology transitions, helping companies to solve their most complex business and technology challenges. He recently joined ESPER as Director of Sales and Partnership, APAC region. ESPER is a US-based tech firm into Android develops to manage customer device deployment and management. In his previous stint as General Manager and Head of Channel at Samsung Enterprise Mobility, he has conceptualized and executed the complete channel go-to-market by enabling large system integrators, value-added resellers, and independent software vendors to capture various opportunities in the fast-emerging domain of enterprise mobility. Prior to joining Samsung, he worked with technology firms such as Hewlett-Packard, Lenovo, HCL Infosystems in the domain of end-user computing. He has strong leadership skills with proven record of managing teams of varied size with focus on innovation, speed of execution, high performance, teamwork, and track record of building and managing. He purely makes commitments or understands on commitment is equal to delivery culture. I am privileged to invite our prestigious alum, Mr. Vishrant, Director, ESPER, to share his mind map with the fresh minds.
Thank you so much, Ajita. Thanks for the inspiring thoughts by Nitin ji, Professor Mani, and Dr. Soundarya. And thanks for this wonderful opportunity given to me by Gulshan and Hindu for being part of this occasion for the new batch and kickoff for the current batch of ITM. Just about 2 decades back, I was the other side, right, amongst all of you, right? Just passed out of college and joined ITM way back in 1994. And looking back, it's been such a wonderful journey, I would say, and thank all people in ITM, professors, institute head, Professor Ramana, and all the faculty members, all the management staff, right? Still feeling very nostalgic about it, right? When I address all of you today. Joining MBA itself is, I think, some decision for me in my life, which has been a key, very, very key decision, right? In a way that now, if I turn back and see, I really believe that joining MBA, like all of you, is almost starting your corporate life, right? Why do I say that? Because when you graduate out of your college undergraduation, it's about choosing a particular line of industry, engineering, or social sciences, or arts, and so on and so forth. But when you step out into an MBA journey, right, it's almost like you stepped into a corporate life, because what you're going to see in the next 2 years, right, from the 2 years of intense curriculum that Gulshan talked about, is almost a real life situation what you will experience in your corporate lives when all of you, get placed and start working in various institutions, right? So when Gulshan asked me that, yes, so why don't you share your thoughts, I was thinking, okay, what should I be talking to all of you young students who just planning to get into the corporate life? I said, okay, why not I talk about my own experience and my journeys, right, and how I've been able to actually use my MBA, I would say, knowledge, and how is it being put into use in the real life, and how it has helped me really, scale my corporate journey. Right? So as you see, most of us in my batch, right, have been very, very successful. They've been driving businesses, heading some businesses, and also running successful entrepreneurship in the batchmates that we have. But the journey, I would say, is not always, right, what should I say, so only success, but it comes with failures, it comes with a lot of hardship, right? And that is where MBA curriculum really teaches each and every one. Right? So to start with my journey, when I graduated out of MBA in 1996, right? It was the summer of 1996. I still remember in Chennai, right? We had a lot of placement companies coming for the placements in our campus, right? I was fortunate to be part of a couple of placement interviews, right? Alternately, I've also actually applied through an advertisement which has come up from BPL, right? So BPL at that time was a large consumer durable company. So I was fortunate to get an invite letter to come and attend their, group discussion. So it started with a written test and a group discussion, and went on to personal interview in their campus, right? When I went there, I was the only candidate from ITM, and I've seen people, students from institutes like IIMs, NIT, LIBA, and all big institutes. I was like, said, okay, ITM is just a new institute, right? At that point of time, we're just about the second batch. And I said, I'm going to be able to crack this, right? That's when I started recollecting what is that I have done in the last 2 years. And this 10 minutes which I have is what I have to crack this particular interview, right? So that gave me so much courage, saying that, okay, this is the journey. If I'm able to do and recollect all the knowledge that I've gotten in the last 2 years, if I do well, I'm going to crack this. So I've cleared the written, went to GD, did very well in GD. Then out of about 40 odd candidates over there that day, right, it boiled down to about 6 or 7, if I remember, right, for the personal interview. And when I did the personal interview, I knew it, that, I think I made this interview, I've cracked this interview. Just after 15 days, there were no mobile phones at that time. There were no, I would say, email, not very frequent there that point of time. So I got a post letter from BPL. That's when I knew that I cracked it. And I thanked all my professors. I thanked all my learning, all my friends in the ITM for making it. It's not about what I've learned. It's about what I've learned and what I've applied, right, in that 10 minutes. That has really impressed the team of panelists there. So to say, it's about, as one of the panelists said, not just learning. It's about learning and trying to implement, trying to execute that learning in the real corporate world. Right? So once I joined BPL, it was a wonderful thing. Then I realized that this was my best company. I'm going to retire in that company, because BPL was such a large company at that point of time in the consumer durables, right? Just about, I had a fantastic journey for about 1.5 years there. After that, my boss, who was in BPL, joined a company called Intel. As all of you know, they are the leaders in semiconductors, right? He joined there immediately about a month or two, right? After he joined, he called me, "Hey, Vishant, how are you doing? I joined this company in Intel, so I hope you know about the company. There's an opportunity to work under me. Would you be willing to join?" I said, "Oh, wonderful. I think my boss has recognized in such a short span, in just about 1.5 years, my skill sets and the way I work, and he's offered me a job." So the interview was good. So, and I joined Intel Corporation, right, to manage the marketing services department there. Right, it was a good run for me for about 6 months in Intel. Immediately after that, there was some restructuring in Intel, and at that point of time, Intel was about to get a lot of new graduates, new MBA graduates into it. And so my boss has to come one day and announce saying, "I'm sorry, Vishant, I think we need to let this position go, because this is going to be actually much larger role, and much people with larger experience is supposed to be doing this. I'm really unfortunate that you've been doing very well, but we have to let you go." So it was like a shocking moment for me, right? Just about 2 years out of MBA, and I was doing very well in BPL, and I got this opportunity to work in a world-class Fortune 500 company called Intel, and not so much for a fault of mine, right? It was some restructuring. My company had to let me go. I was like totally, clueless what is going to happen to my professional career. Then I got along. I spoke to some people in BPL, right? And then I spoke to a couple of professors I still remember in ITM. So who gave me that, real push and said, "Don't worry about anything, right? It's just a temporary phase, and it's not your fault. It's about companies restructuring, right? Continue focus and start applying to new companies." Just about a month, I think, after I was retrenched out of Intel, right, I got an opportunity in HCL, which is again a very, very large company at that point of time in the computer sales, right? And from then onwards, I've seen my career grow from HCL. I spent about seven years there. Then I went on to join many multinational companies like IBM, and went on to work with Hewlett Packard. And then from there, I transitioned to mobility arena, which is in Samsung. And finally, just about a month back, I joined this software platform company called Esper. We are into mobile device management for the Android devices. So the point I want to share is, I think the corporate world is all going to be ups and downs, right? Whether it is COVID, whether it is any other recession, whether it is some internal politics or restructuring of the organization, there are so many things that you can't manage. You can only manage what you can, which is your job, what is your role, and do extremely well in the job. But at the same time, my learning was that you cannot just be sitting on your comfort zone for long. Why do I say that? When I say sit in your comfort zone, when you get into working with a company for long, you feel that, my job is comfortable. I am totally happy here. My boss is very good. My job profile is very good, right? The minute you get into that comfort zone, somewhere you get into that lethargy that you will stop learning, right? So the fundamental thing is you need to never stop learning. Always try to be abreast with the latest technology. If you're in the technology industry, latest innovative ways to reach out to customers. If you're in sales and marketing and so on and so forth, right? The minute you stop learning and get into your comfort zone, right? A COVID like a situation, yes, you're totally, I think, redundant in the industry, because you may be very good in your particular job, but think about it. COVID, the industries like movies, theaters, gyms, spas, right? There are many companies around this particular industry. Now, all of them almost have no jobs now. The reason is that, yes, they have probably, it's one thing that to sense what's going to come up, this thing. The other thing is, do you have other skills to quickly ramp over this particular setback? Because COVID no one anticipated, but possibly people working in probably a big movie industry, whereas in movie industry, it could be leaders in entertainment management, right? There are no events here, right? So do we have skills to immediately shift over to another profession? Do we have skills to immediately look out for another domain, right, and start working? I think that is something you need to fundamentally think. I'm sure COVID is one situation; it's not going to happen again and again. But throughout my career, I've seen that every 2 years, every 3 years, there've been new challenges, new ways to reach out to the market. Look at what's happening to the retail market, right? With the commencement of the e-commerce industry, right? They totally suddenly felt that, oh, okay, no one is coming to the retail store now, right? We need to spend more time, more energy, more money to get people into our stores. Whereas the e-commerce markets, right, they've really captured the mindset of customers. So if you're in those industries, which I think are dynamically changing, you need to rethink. You need to start learning new skills to be relevant, right? So that's my fundamental advice. I think learning is not about just being in the MBA. The MBA course teaches you the fundamentals of what business is all about. From there, it is important that you need to really be developing your skill sets, right, around a particular domain that you want to excel. And as Professor Nitin has aptly said, what you learn in the MBA course is as good as relevant to just about 4 to 5 years. Beyond that, a lot of things are going to change, right? And again, you can't be getting into a course like a ITM course and again start going to classes and start learning. The learning is a continuous process. So the second thing that I want to lean is a few thoughts, which is important. So when I look back my career, I feel that, I was, when in my graduation, higher graduation, I was always, like almost all of you are, into collecting a lot of marks. Okay, I need to be at 90%, I need to be 95%, and so on and so forth. But those percentage marks are only important for you to go to the next stage of your life. For example, when in an MBA, get those marks only to get into a good placement in a good corporate company, right? Beyond that, if I look back and ask, no one in my corporate life, corporate company is going to ask, hey, you scored 95%, fantastic. I'm going to recommend you for a recommendation for a promotion and so on and so forth. It's never like that, right? So you need to look at what are you doing currently and excel in it to go to the next phase. So always encourage people to say, collect knowledge, not marks, right? You need to collect knowledge on whatever you're doing. Knowledge is not just at the school level, at the college level, at the MBA level, but when you're working as well, right? The second thought I have is collect skills, again, not degrees, right? When you're in college, collect skills for your domain, which could be chemistry, mathematics, right, social sciences, and so on and so forth. When you come to management school, right, collect skills around your domain, your area of interest. It could be marketing, it could be HR, it could be finance, and so on and so forth. Collect skills around that, right? The third important thing is, I think we have so many social networking websites now, which were not there during our time, right? We believed in face-to-face connection, but now we are connected with virtually with anyone in the world, right? So it's important to make friends, professional friends, as well as, personal friends, as so to say. Be connected with your graduate friends, be connected with your, MBA friends, be connected with your professors, be connected with, your, all the, I would say, mentors over a period of time, and not just being a follower. Don't follow people, I would say, but make good friends. These will come handy. So it is out of my own personal experience that it has come in handy when I was totally down at some point of time, right? When I was retrenched in just 2 years out of MBA college, I did not know whom to go. So I could go and talk to my parents, but probably they are not the best ones to guide me in terms of a situation like this. So that's when I went out and reached out to my professors, right? They had given me real self-confidence. I've reached out to my batchmates, they've really given me a good self-confidence. So have a good friend who you could go and approach them, not only for a problem, for any kind of a help and support that you need. The next one that I would say is collect experiences and not just certificates. Experiences are so very important, especially when it comes to management institute. The entire 2 years is going to be about experiences. When I talk about experiences, these are real-time life use cases that you will be taught through, right? What's happening in the corporate life, you want to get together and discuss that. So that experience is immensely valuable. One of the things that helped me crack the ITM, the BPL interview was the experience that I got when I did my summer project in Modi Xerox, right? The 2 months of some internship that I did in Modi Xerox is something possibly I used that right during my interview, and it really helped me. And possibly, I think it's one of the key reasons why I got picked up by the panelists in BPL. So for everything that you do in these 2 years, whether it is case studies that you study, whether it is the digital, I would say, thoughts that are shared by various digital media classes that you will go through, or even the summer internship. All of these are very, very useful experiences that you could really use it to your advantage when the time comes. And the last but not the least is, in my own experience, don't go by positions, right? And go by the purpose. For everything that you do, go with a purpose, saying that, okay, I joined this company, there's a purpose why I joined this company, right? There's a job role, yes, I need to do this, but for me, I joined this company because for next 5 years, I want to be a good marketing professional. Don't go by the positions, okay, oh, this company is not offering me maybe a manager role, they're just offering me a sales role, which is a sales officer. I don't know if it is good for me. But if you think that it is a good company, the role is good, don't go just by the positions and just by the designations. These are just very, I would say, virtual. Today there's a designation, tomorrow there's another designation, right? But go with a purpose, saying that, okay, this company, I'm going to go because this is what they're going to teach me and learn. Right? So these are my experiences I thought I should share. Right? Again, I thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. One thought I want to leave all of you is that when I graduated a couple of decades back, the opportunities we saw was immense. But today, for all of you, the opportunities are double, triple, right? There's so many different opportunities. You pick up one single segment of the industry, right? Pick up e-commerce, pick up information technology, pick up enterprise mobility. The opportunities it can offer to students like you who are graduating out in the 2 years now are immense. So it's important for you to really channelize what is your expertise, what is the line of domain that you want to be really excel, you want to be, and start learning about it, not just on the courseware that is given into you, but participate in various domain discussions like LinkedIn, Coursera, right? There are forums for you to learn, connect with external teammates through webinars, YouTube, so on and so forth. This is perhaps missing when we graduated, right, way back 2 decades back. But for you, there is immense information available, immense knowledge that can be picked up through various forums. So always, try and be connected in that particular domain that you want to, excel. So with that, I thank you again for a wonderful opportunity. Thanks, Gulshan and Indu for inviting me. I'm so happy that I'm part of this kickoff session for the MBA students. Thanks once again.
Thank you, sir. That was beautiful throwback by you. And thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking, stimulating words of the day. You very correctly told about college life as a start of corporate life, and the life journey in ITM, what you told was fantastic. And the interview process, how did you crack your BPL, application of law and all learning in real corporate life, all those were very provoking for our students of this day. Changes and transition of industry and how rethinking is important was the wonderful points what you have spoken. And collecting knowledge, collect skills, collect networking, collect experiences, don't go by positions, go by purpose, and your specific channelizations and everything are need for the other. Thank you so much, sir, for being over here. This is another surprise from your 2019-21 batch seniors. Though they are not present here to welcome you since they are in their internship, they have sent a beautiful video message for you all. Let us have a look on it.
So it all started post our entrance exams. A huge dilemma on which college to join, which stream to join, what is the right place. And after all the discussions and comparisons, I joined
ITM.
ITM.
To ITM.
ITM. Exactly a year ago, we entered the ITM Chennai campus with lots of
Ambitions.
to sharpen our skills and competencies for better tomorrow. So here we are today.
With 1 year of journey and memories beyond that.
We had a great time at our interactive classroom sessions with discussions on live examples from the corporate, writing research papers, and visiting IIMs for presentation.
Our NGO internship and NGO campus.
Not just academics, but we also enjoy with sports. We do celebrate a lot of festivals like Pongal, Onam, Christmas, and a lot more.
And a quest, our flagship management event, an MPL, the cricket tournament, which is included.
It's brought the whole batch together and making a grand celebration. Our DJ night.
We are very happy, excited, and eagerly waiting to welcome you.
Oh my god, we are already missing our colleagues. Hope to get back soon.
We entered the campus in a completely different situation.
And today is different with you. We do understand that.
But don't worry, this is just temporary. Things will turn back tomorrow. We are always there for you, and we all are waiting for the big day to meet you all with a big bang.
Join us in creating many more memories. Let's rock the year.
Dear our juniors.
Welcome to ITM, welcome to our family.
Until then, stay home, stay safe. Let's virtually stay connected.
Hoping to see you all soon.
This is how our students join ITM and eventually become a lifelong member of ITM family. Isn't it fascinating? Yes, it is. I now request Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, Mr. Nitin Pucha, Professor RSS Mani, Mr. Vishrant, and Professor Gulshan Kumar to formally inaugurate the PGDM 2020-22 batch. Thank you, dignitaries. This is a solemn occasion for the new joiners to affirm their faith by pledging the oath. I request the new joiners to take the oath along with me. As a member of ITM family,
I
I shall show reverence
shall show reverence
integrity and love for my institution, both within the campus and outside. I shall always strive to be regular, sincere and a worthy student. I shall show courtesy and respect to all and maintain at appropriate etiquette at all times. I shall persevere to do my best and work towards accomplishing all tasks and duties entrusted to me. I pledge my devotion for the well-being of our institution and shall always be proud of calling myself a member of the ITM family. Thank you so much.
Myself a member of the ITM family.
Having drawn to the close of this auspicious occasion, I call upon our dear Professor Dr. Ramasubramaniam to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning to everybody digitally present. Normally, the job of a person who proposes vote of thanks is by itself is difficult. There are a lot of people to thank, and there are a lot of occasions which you have to remember and thank. My job has been made much more difficult by my colleague, Dr. Ajita. One of the tricks which a person who does the vote of thanks is to pick up what the speakers have said and recollect, recapitulate, and say it at the end. And he makes a grand show. That opportunity, unfortunately, is not available to me. My dear colleague Ajita has summarized so beautifully, I am left with no words as to how I go about that particular trick. But then, I would like to start like this. Ajita madam has made one important statement when she was introducing. She said, investment is knowledge, an excellent thing. But the question is, what is knowledge? Today, information is knowledge. If you look at the logo of ITM, it says, information is life. If you do not have knowledge, you don't live. Everybody knows it. But we have gone little more beyond that and said, information is life. That's what distinguishes ITM. So you could write at the beginning, know that you made a right choice to join. Now the lighting ceremony was so beautiful. And it made only one statement, which is the purpose of the institution. Samasoma Jyotir Gamaya, which simply means, lead me from darkness to light. You are in darkness on so many things. In the front of knowledge, in front of getting to know people, in the area of networking, there are a lot of areas in which you are not in limelight. But this institution takes you from that darkness to knowledge or light. Now, one of the important thing is how a leader is. That's how the whole flock will be. Yata Raja, Tata Praja. So we have one very dynamic youngster as the director of this institution, Mr. Professor Gulshan. He made one very important statement. If you do not dare, you won't achieve it. This is something which is a statement not for now, but for all the time to come. Many of you would have seen in your WhatsApp, there used to be a video. It talks about an eagle. The eagle lives for some time, and after that it renews itself and it becomes young again. So it's like this. You learn a lot of things and then you relearn a lot of things and you become again relevant. It's fine. But the point is, the eagle soars above the clouds. The eagle soars above the clouds. It dares to do things which no other bird is doing. That's why an eagle is an eagle. So it's a very important message for all the new joiners that you have to dare in order to achieve. Well, the CEO has come and joined us today in making this occasion a grand one. Yes, had it been a physical presence, it would add a lot more value and pleasantness to that. But still, being in the digital world, his presence has immensely encouraged us and invigorated us. He made one very simple statement. He said, don't be a jack of all trades and be a master of none. He said, be a master of at least one, however small it is. See, I was, during my younger days, was a martial arts specialist. At that time, my teacher told me a story. There was a guy who did not have his left hand and he wanted to learn martial arts. So he went to your guru and said, sir, I would like to learn martial arts. The guru said, fine, you can learn it. He taught him only 2 techniques and nothing more than that. He said, can I win? Yeah, you can use these 2 techniques and win. So when a situation came, there was a big guy. He was a very renowned fighter. When he had to fight with him, he used a very typical hold. And still this guy was able to come out of it and throw him down. So he won the game. So he came and asked the guru, sir, how is that it has happened? He said, you have practiced and become a master of what you have learned. That is one thing. The second thing is the knowledge. The guy did not know, who applied the lock, that it can be applied on you very successfully when you have a left hand. You didn't have it. Therefore, you have been able to come out of it. So all the time, remember, so you try to become a knowledgeable person. Your deficiencies, you'll have to convert it into a strength, and you should become a master of one. An excellent message to the students. And at this point of time, maybe with the fondness, I remember that in 2008, my association with ITM has started. And from that date, till date, on very many occasions, I have experienced ITM. And when Professor RSS Mani was giving his mentorship and his piece of advice and his experiences, when he was sharing it, I was remembering most of them. And you know, most of the things, what he said was this: you innovate, you work in a team, and a mentorship. This is what he said ITM stands for. But to me, ITM gives a different meaning. For me, the ITM always stood to inspiration to make a mark. That's how I look at it. Inspiration, I, to T, to make a mark. You know why? In 2008, when I joined, I had a lot of degrees. I had a lot of experience. That's why ITM took. It's an excellent thing. But what has happened is, I did not have a PhD then. The inspiration came to me from ITM to do that, and you would be surprised. I got my PhD when I was 60. That's inspiration the institution has provided. Now the question is, yes, all these people have said, and of course, Madam Soundarya, she made a very, very important thing of what master means. Yes, master means. She has said a lot of things, but one thing I would like to take out of that. All said and done, the fundamental principle that man and women coexist, and possibly the women have a better hand in that. Maybe the old age saying that a better half is very true, because you take the word woman, it includes a man. In no other word it happens. So a person who has done something in gender bias has very clearly brought out that you have to beyond go these biases and equip yourself and master yourself. I have a kinship with her because she said in her career she was a banker, and I was also a banker, so I could identify with her that way. Now, when one of the important thing is she made a statement, or Ajita madam made a reference that she brought out a book called 99 Days. This again reminds me one thing. That itself is an inspiration. A king gave a purse to someone and said, start the journey, prepare, go ahead and progress. He had about some coins in that. The guy went and opened it, counted it. There were 99 coins. But only condition which the king said was, after about a couple of years, when you become rich, please do return that money to me back. I don't want you to be indebted. The guy opened it, counted it, there were only 99. First time counted, second time counted, only 19. He thought the king would not have made a mistake. I must have missed the coin somewhere. So what did he do? He put his heart and soul and started working not only to prosper himself, but also to return that one extra coin, to make it 100 and return it to him. So when he says 99, it always tells you to become a centurion, you have got to work harder. You have got to work more hours. You have got to learn a lot more things in order to achieve it. It was a message which was brought out by that simple statement, 99 days. Right? Anywhere you see 100 days of a minister, or 100 days of a PM, or 100 days of CM, the 100 has got a sanctity and a value. So 99 means you have got to make a little more extra effort. So it was an excellent way by which Madam has inspired the people who are joining ITM. Of course, I cannot but say one thing. With a lot of experience in HR, our Professor R.S. Mani holds a special place in my heart. I had always enjoyed his talk because he makes it very, very brief but witty. So I say, brevity is the soul of wit. If somebody were to ask me to point out a person, I would without unhesitation, right? I would be saying it. Now, what happens is, when he said this, like I said, innovation, teamwork, and mentoring, which I said inspiration to make, he also made one statement. The ABC of life. Have an attitude, be positive, and build your character. I had been a teacher. I had to add one line to that to complete it. The word D. You have an attitude, you have your character, you are very positive. All of them do not come to anything unless you actually do. So please make it as not only ABC, make it as ABCD. Have the right attitude, be positive, build your character, and please do. In these 2 years, you have got to do, learn, and successfully come out of it. Of course, our own alumni. He has talked a lot about his experiences. And he was saying one thing by this. He said, change is the order of the day. You have got to keep on learning things, changing your old ideas, throw them out, move, and keep on changing in order to grow. That reminds me of what happened between me and my wife recently. So we were talking something about it, and she said, I made a very offhand statement, rolling stones gather no moss. If you keep on changing, no, you don't stick around anywhere. But my wife retorted immediately. He said, a rolling pin only makes chapatis. It's very true. It's not the rolling in that sense. It's a rolling with a purpose. Are you switching jobs in order to achieve, in order to grow? Or you are simply switching the job because you don't like it? That makes the difference. So he has made a very clear and a message saying that switch jobs, be relevant, acquire knowledge, and network. If it is the network of friends and acquaintances, professors, is excellent. If it is the otherwise the telecom network, I am very sure making the network is not in our hands. Sometimes you are very sure and sometimes you are not very sure. But that network of friends, the network of your mentors, the network of your things is really an excellent thing, and he has brought out that absolutely with a lot of clarity. And he said, You don't worry about the position. I agree with him. The foundations are never seen. Only the towers are seen. Positions are like towers. The foundations are something on which you stand. Your principles, your knowledge, your character, your hard work, and they are more important than the position you occupy. So he has brought out something excellent. Of course, that's nothing new. Any student who comes to ITM, when they go out, they are apt to make such very relevant statements, and because they keep going up in life. I take this opportunity to thank all those people who are behind this particular effort. I, for one, thank the Corona. I do not know whether others thank the Corona or not. I thank Corona, but not the Chinese, right? Now, what happened is, but for this Corona, I would not have become familiar with the Zoom. I would not have become very familiar with conducting a conference or a webinar or giving a vote of thanks by using this medium. Had it been that, I would have simply gone to the mic, picked it up. But today, the change in situation has made me to learn, made me to perform in a very different situation. So every change, good or bad, gives you an opportunity to learn. And that way, if I'll have to thank the people. Of course, not exactly thanking Corona, it may not be right and appropriate. The people who had put all their effort, like Asrar, Madam Achita, Anugraha, Madam Sandeep, the people who are in the office, and my own students of the earlier batches who have assembled this as a grand function. Now, I'll have to thank a very important segment, and that's the students who have joined. Why do I thank them? I thank them for only one thing. They have shown and exhibited an extraordinary maturity in joining ITM, and they have got a lot of hopes. I am very sure ITM would, in the years to come, would fulfill all their hopes and aspirations. So normally a word of thanks is supposed to be short, but because of the dignitaries involved and the graciousness and the halo which surrounds them, I have taken, with your permission, a little longer to say the heartfelt vote of thanks on my behalf as well as on behalf of all my colleagues and ITM. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Ramasubramanian. And it was indeed a great vote of thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you all. We have come to the end of our memorable day. Once again, wishing you a wonderful journey at ITM. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and stay healthy. Request all the students to refer to and follow the induction week schedule already shared with you. Your class starts from tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. See you all there. Should you have any inquiries, please drop in a message in PGDM 2020-22 WhatsApp group. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.